Peg Leg Pete.
First year camping, there's this young boy named Petey McIntyre, I believe his name was. Old Petey McIntyre, he was I wouldn't call him a troublemaker. I mean, he was just a young lad looking for his way in the world. But needless to say, old Petey, he liked to pull pranks. He liked to sneak out of his cabin at night. Well, one night, old Petey, he says, "Hey guys," he's talking to his bunkmates, "Hey guys, let's get out of here and let's go jump in the creek." Well, you know, his buddies, most of them, you know, thought, no, Petey, no, I'm not going to do that. No, sir. My counselor will wrestle me to the ground and duct tape me to the side of the cabin. I'm not gonna mess with that. But there were a couple of old Petey's friends who were reluctantly ready to join him on his little midnight shenanigans. So they all got out of their beds. They hiked up this hill, made their way to the meadow.
It's like day.
And
Like day every day.
they got to the top of the meadow where we're about to approach right now, in this clearing. And they were met with nothing but an empty field, right? Yeah, Emily? That's all I'm getting at, Emily.
Patience.
So old Petey, he starts messing with his friends, you know, he's trying to scare them, he starts yelling. He starts saying, "Hey, Peg Leg Pete! Hey, Peg Leg Pete! Ha ha!" And his buddies say, "Petey, shut up, man, you're gonna get us in trouble." And the next thing you know, out from the back of the meadow, there's this light, this tiny, tiny light, slowly making its way closer and closer to the boys. Well, Petey's friends take off. Petey stands there, unaware of what's behind him. He turns around. Before the two friends reach the clearing out of the woods, they hear this loud, "Shaka, shaka, shaka!" And terrified, they went back to their cabin, got in their bunks, didn't say a word. Well, next morning, obviously, the counselors knew and noticed that old Petey was missing. So they get up, they start asking all the other boys, "Where's Petey at?" "Well, we snuck out last night." "What? You snuck out of the cabin with duct tape?" "No, wait, listen. We snuck out of the cabin. And we went up the thing, and then there's the thing, and then we, and we didn't know, so we just went and came in, and that's all." And so the counselors, they got on their best hiking shoes, and they hiked up this way, and their nice Velcro strap flip-flops. They got up here. They looked around. Of course, they didn't see anything up here. And they told the rest of the staff, all the kids, everybody, they scoured the grounds. Couldn't find old Petey anywhere. So they went home, and of course they had to tell old Petey's folks that Petey disappeared. He vanished. They didn't know where he was, and didn't find any remains of him or anything. He just vanished. So years go by. I'm talking like 2 years. Right? So 2 years go by. And there's a group of campers that are down here at Camp Olivet, and it's late at night. They're all in their cabins, and there was some strange activity throughout the evening. And the next morning at breakfast, all the campers were talking. Like, did you hear any noises? Did you hear any strange noises? Yeah. It turns out all the campers, almost all the campers, they had consistently heard this strange noise that was like a chunk chunk, chunk chunk, chunk chunk. And most of them described it as it sounded like a guy walking with a peg leg. And if you don't know what a peg leg is, it's like somebody loses a leg. You know, back in the day, they didn't have fancy prosthetic limbs. They had big logs that they would just stick on the end of your stump, and that's what you had to walk with. So everyone pretty much agreed, yeah, there's somebody walking around Camp Olivet with a peg leg. So everybody got talking, and it was pretty terrifying. That next night came around, and then all the campers, after having that conversation earlier that day, they all stayed awake in their beds. You know, they're freaking out. They had their lights on. They were supposed to have their lights out, but they had them on, and the counselors understood because they didn't know what was going on. And sure enough, around 12:35, approximately 12:35. I know. Next thing you know, the whole camp lights up with flashlights. Nobody sees anything. So everybody gets out of their cabins and they all gather together and they walk together with their flashlights. This big glowing orb of human beings crawling to the top of the meadow, shouting, "Petey! Is that you, Petey?" They all gather right here just like you guys are right now. And then their director, guy named, what was his name? Andy Johnson, old Andy Johnson. Oh man, he was a good man, old Andy Johnson. He says, lights out, get your lights out, lights out. So all the campers, all the staff, they turn their lights out. Old Andy Johnson standing up there in front of them. And they all see this tiny, tiny pinhole of light in the distance. It slowly starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they stand face to face with old Petey McIntyre. I said, Petey, what happened? Where were you? He says, I was back there, guys. It's cool. And that's the story of Peg Leg Pete.